Well, thank you very much, Stephen Chambers, for those kind words. I'm not sure what else I founded, but it's wonderful to be here. It gives me great honor to welcome all of you to the 6th annual Skoll World Forum on social entrepreneurship. And it humbles me to know the efforts that all of you go to come here. It's a long way for many of you. This year we have 785 delegates from 65 countries on 6 continents, which makes this the largest Skoll World Forum ever. And I know we all enjoy coming here for the lovely Oxford weather, but this year we threw in the financial recession as well. Next year we're going to toss in some locusts. But since nothing can stop a social entrepreneur, please accept our sincere appreciation for being here in these difficult times. Once again, the staff of the Said Business School and the entire Oxford community have done a wonderful job of preparing for this event. I'd like to officially welcome Pamela Hartigan as the new director of the Skoll Center. Pamela came to us from the Schwab Foundation, where she was executive director, so it's no surprise that she has hit the ground running. I'd also like to say a special thanks to Stephen Chambers, Alex Nichols, Liz Nelson, and the entire Skoll Center team for their dedication to making this event a success. It's great to be back for the 6th World Forum. In past years, I've jokingly compared the relatively short tenure of the forum to Oxford's 900 years of existence, but these days, given that long-standing organizations are disappearing almost daily, making it to a 6th year is actually a pretty momentous thing. So in keeping with past years, I'd like to renew our tradition of giving creative gifts to the leadership of the Said Business School to say thank you. Last year, I turned to the traditional wedding gift list to see what would make sense. And for the 5th anniversary, the traditional gift was wood. This year, the traditional gift is candy or iron, which seemed an interesting combination. But what gift could one give that would really reflect our current circumstances? Then it dawned on me that there's really only one thing that makes sense to focus on this year. It's a story that's dominated the news cycles worldwide. And this time, for once, it isn't Britney Spears. I'm talking about the economy. For most of us, this is the most challenging economic environment we've ever experienced. And I know this will be a huge topic of discussion over the next couple of days. At times like this, it's natural that we try to simplify. We need to return to fundamentals. We need to remember the basics. And so, this year, my gift is a reflection of the need for a simpler approach to finance. It's a financial tool that predates collateralized debt options, subprime mortgages, exchange-traded funds, and even the plain vanilla bank deposit. Here it is. The venerable piggy bank has a couple of lessons to impart. First, it's easier to put money in than to get money out. And there's a reason for that. The piggy bank is supposed to encourage kids to save money and use it for something that they really need. It's about deferring gratification. It's about understanding that our decisions today will impact our options tomorrow. And I have a feeling that if a few more people had remembered that lesson, we wouldn't be quite in the situation we're in. Second, it's not pretty, but it's functional. Often people get stuck in trying to find the perfect solution to problems. As a whole, the world has spent billions of dollars trying to do studies and projects and processes to fix what's wrong. And often these are based on theories from a think tank that are thousands of miles away from where the solutions will actually be deployed. But there's something to rolling up your sleeves and digging in and doing the work that actually leads to real change. And you don't need a pretty theory or framework around it. Thankfully, there are people who have internalized both of these lessons, and many of you are in the audience today. A lot has changed since we met last year. Our questions about creative capitalism have become questions about the viability of capitalism. Our observations about the rate of growth between rich and poor have become observations about who's growing poor more quickly. And some of the headlines today would make us believe that the Great Depression is right around the next corner. And yet, here we all are at Oxford, at a conference on social entrepreneurship. The Skoll World Forum is beyond capacity and oversold, despite falling travel budgets. Why? I think it's a recognition that the world needs the work that you do more than ever. It's a recognition that top-down approaches and theoretical models are not always the best way to get to change, and that real hard work on the ground is often what produces real, lasting change. It's a recognition that social entrepreneurship is one of the most highly leveraged models for change that there is. And it's a recognition that we need to approach the big challenges that we face with global solutions, because we're all increasingly interconnected. There are big challenges out there that we have to deal with: climate change, Middle East peace, pandemics, nuclear weapons, water scarcity, to name a few. And the economic crisis hasn't made any of these problems go away. In fact, it's made it more difficult as resources and attention have turned to other things. But that puts an even greater premium on finding the best solutions to maximize our leverage. We're here because we want to work together to meet these challenges. We're here because we know that our colleagues have found solutions to some of these problems and are anxious to share their knowledge with us. We're here because we're tough-minded optimists, as Sally Osberg of the Skoll Foundation likes to say. I believe that social entrepreneurs are the key to unlocking the two most important doors that I feel are keeping humanity back. One is the opportunity gap, where people never have the opportunity to improve their lives or the lives of their communities. And the second is the hope gap, where people don't even believe that real change is possible. Social entrepreneurs solve the opportunity gap by giving people the chance to make a difference in their own lives and the lives of their communities. And social entrepreneurs overcome the hope gap by giving people the belief that better days lie ahead. What you do is the difference between a future of despair or a world of sustainable peace and prosperity. It's really that important. Your work and your resolve make such a difference in the world, and you inspire others, including me, to try to make a difference as well. So thank you for coming, and let's have a great forum. It's also a pleasure to have many dear friends here tonight, one of whom I have the opportunity to introduce as our next speaker. Roger Martin is a great thinker, analyst, and writer. Roger has been the dean of the Rotman School of Business at the University of Toronto since 1998. Under Roger's tenure, Rotman has emerged as one of the top business schools in North America, recognized for its innovative curriculum. Before going to Rotman, Roger was a director and CEO at the Monitor Company, a cutting-edge global strategic management firm, and he also founded the Monitor University. Roger is a leading light on issues of global competitiveness, integrative thinking, business design, and corporate citizenship. He chairs the Ontario Task Force on Competitiveness, Productivity, and Economic Progress, and he serves on the boards of Thomson Reuters and Research in Motion. So if you have any questions about your BlackBerry, Roger's the guy to ask. And he's a trustee at the Hospital for Sick Children and is on the advisory board of Social Capital Partners. A prolific writer, Roger has published several books, including his recent work, The Opposable Mind: How Successful Leaders Win Through Integrative Thinking. He's written a number of Harvard Business Review articles, is a columnist for Business Week Online, and contributes on a regular basis to leading Canadian, US, and British publications, including the Financial Times. Roger is also a true supporter of social entrepreneurship, and it gives me great pride to acknowledge that Roger has been a board member of the Skoll Foundation for the last 5 years. Roger is going to kick us off tonight by talking about power, specifically the paradox of power, how power is changing, and how thinking about power in different ways can allow us to be more effective in what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Martin.